Thank you for tuning in today. And when it comes to growing your business, it's really important that you don't try to do everything on your own. It's helpful to have a guide to help you identify your blind spots, help you stretch and challenge yourself to achieve higher levels, and give you this support and accountability to perform at your absolute best. Our guest today is really an expert when it comes to doing such that. She's a business strategist, accountant, and tax practitioner. It's really cool thing about her is she's done Lean Six Sigma and is an operations advisor, business strategist, financial strategist, and she helps small service-based business owners with fractional CFO services. She's the owner of Masterpiece Accounting, and I'd like to welcome to Growth Amplifiers, Ibanessa Hogan. Vanessa, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Kevin, for having me. It's my honor and a pleasure to be here.
So it's really cool to see how you've shown up in what you do. You've learned your craft. You help transform business owners. Just curious, how did you get to do what you're doing today? What's that story behind how you got to do what you're doing today?
Well, I love talking about my story because I was a corporate accountant. Mm-hmm. I had held positions in large companies, and the last position I had before I went into business was as a senior accountant at a major corporation. So that we're talking about multi-millions international corporation. And I had the desire to have a baby at the time. With my husband and I were trying to get pregnant for a while, and it wasn't happening. So when it finally happened, I also had the desire to become a stay-home mom. It could be part of my son's early life. And I found the opportunity when I finally got pregnant. Then when I was home and I started my business, I realized that there was much more to what I thought, because I had been working in the corporate world, and this was a very different approach. These were small businesses that operated in a completely different way than what I was used to. So I noticed there was a gap in the way that their understanding and utilization of the financial information they had at their disposal in their hands to run their business. And so it didn't make sense to me. So I was determined to make a difference and help them see the numbers beyond the numbers, and develop an understanding on how to utilize it so they could be successful.
That is so powerful, because what I've tended to see from time to time is businesses, they have their passion, they have their knowledge and expertise, but they get so caught up in the day-to-day whirlwind, they lose perspective. They can't see with their bottlenecks, they can't see their blind spots. And so working with someone like yourself, they can get a better understanding of not only how are they currently performing, but also better forecast to make sure that they're taking the actions to get where they want to go more efficiently and more effectively. So if we had to talk about for a moment, you help businesses get clarity on their numbers to be more efficient, to be more profitable, to be more effective, so that they're building a business that works for them. When you're connecting with businesses, what's a common challenge that you see a lot of business owners having that's costing them, and maybe they're aware or maybe they're not aware?
Sure. Yes. The biggest challenge that I find is that they don't see their business. They don't manage the business from the top. So they, like you mentioned, they are so involved into the day-to-day routine of running the business that they forget that the business is made up of so many different components and aspects that need to be looked at closely, need to be monitored, measured, to be able to grow and expand. So they become technicians of their own business. And that's the biggest challenge I find.
So I think that's really key because if people are basically running their business, they're working in the business, they can continually do that. And maybe they may make minor improvements through time. But what you're saying is you not only help them be more effective with maybe improving with running the business, but you help them more importantly work on the business so that they're changing what's possible for the results that they're getting now and also for the future. Uh, what's an example of a time where you've worked with someone that was maybe they were struggling or maybe they were doing decent already, but you worked with them to resolve that challenge and help them step into a new level?
Yes, an amazing success story I have is of this small business owner who came to me with a complete disarray on her finances and the business in the overall of the business management. When she came to me, there was a lot of debt, an amazing amount of debt, a long list of
Mm,
creditors that were after her. On top of that, the accounting was not accurate, was not complete, so the information lacked integrity, and there was a lot of stress on her, a lot of lack of sleep. The person was not really enjoying her personal life, her business, not let alone her personal life at the end of the day. Um, so what we were able to do was we sat down, we took a, we made a list of all the debt. We found ways of consolidating. We found ways of cleaning up the accounting. And then we executed a strategic plan. So with that strategic plan, we were able to tackle the most important debt that needed to be paid off, which is, believe it or not, although we don't like it, is the IRS, New York State, and governmental agencies. So we're able to get into a installment plan with them. At some point, offering compromise, we're able to go through a whole plan, like I said, strategic plan to be able to manage the debt, consolidate, manage, and then plan for profit. With
mm,
at the end of the accounting, the information now can be used for planning and generate profit. So we also went over the strategic pricing, the pricing she was using in her business that needed to be adjusted to generate more revenue. Cut down expenses, not the expenses that generate revenue, but our expenses that are necessary, like the employees that she had in place, the rent of the business, because the business really depended a lot on the location. So we're able to go through expense management control,
mhm.
generate more profit, and then she was able later on to even open a second business that was not exactly the same as the first one, but they were related. They were to complement each other. So we developed a strategic plan for the second business and a whole stream of other revenue that would help her compensate for any deficit she had in the first one, but also would help her attract more customers to her because the first business and the second business complemented each other in the services that they offered. The client was able to sleep at night. They had peace of mind because of that. She was able to sleep at night, enjoy her children more, and then spend more time with her family, and then even move to a different place. She moved to a big house, and it was really an amazing success story working with this person. So it was all around success, revamping the business, structuring, setting up a time frame, boundaries, and just in summary, just developing a strategies for success.
So what I love about what you do is you
Mhm.
don't just put a Band-Aid on it. You're thinking holistically about what needs to happen to get where someone is now, to get rid of their challenges and get them to where they want to go. And you take the time to work with them. I know one of the things that might prevent somebody who's listening in is like, oh, I already know what I need to do. And that's the whole thing. We all may know what we need to do, but having someone help us, uh, guide us, and work with us to take the right actions and have support and be held accountable so that we can achieve our peak performance. That is transformational. And I really love your approach. You're authentic and you're strategic and holistic. So you're totally providing transformation to those you serve. For those who are tuning in and saying, "Hey, maybe I could use a fresh perspective, and maybe I could have someone take a look at what I'm doing so I can improve." Where should they go, and what should they do to get the best results? How can they learn more about how you can help them?
Sure. Well, they can contact me. They can to set up an appointment. My approach is it's very. I make it very clear. I set up the expectations ahead of time with the client. I let them know how the approach we use, the methodology, and the pricing structure, of course. So they can call us and to set up the appointment at 914-752-3632, or email us at info@masterpieceaccounting.com. And they can also go to our website and find us there and look at all information, the services we provide, the bio, the team, and anything they need to know to engage our services. Masterpieceaccounting.com.
Super cool. So if you're tuned in and you haven't had taken a time recently to work with a strategist to get a fresh perspective to see where you could potentially improve and take your business, I highly recommend doing it. Every champion has a coach or someone to help them see their blind spot or achieve their higher level for themselves, for their team, for their inner circle and those they love. So highly recommend doing that. Ibanessa, you've been a great amplifier, and I highly appreciate you taking the time to share your insight and experience with us so that we can continue to amplify. Thank you so much. And
Thank you,
I
Kate.
look forward to connecting again in the near future. To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.